Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Op 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Op 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is it's been announced that Fury vs. AJ is off. There are numerous sources, but we're going to go to World Boxing News because we respect World Boxing News. And to our knowledge, most people respect World Boxing News, but it's possible you don't. However, that's who we're rolling with right now. So bear with us. World Boxing News says, Fury versus Joshua off due to lack of response. Team Usyk reacts. So here's what it says. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua is off the table for this year after Bob Arum accused Eddie Hearn of not wanting the all-British fight. The top-ranked boss is in the UK for Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. He spoke about an offer made by Fury for late November or early December. Arum added his views after Fury's UK promoter Frank Warren said his man doesn't want to fight on Joshua's reported preferred date of December 17th. Fury versus Joshua. Fury wants to get his next event out of the way to face Alexander Usyk in February 2023. The cutoff date is December 3rd with a deadline today for Joshua to agree. Joshua also wants a rematch clause to include a split of 60-40 in his favor if he gives the same right to Fury in the first meeting. However, Arum says despite Hearn being vocal in the media about accepting the fight, all he's heard from Joshua's side is crickets. I really don't think Joshua's people are anxious to make the fight right now, Arum told Sky Sports, because he's coming through a devastating loss. I think conventionally, Joshua is going to want a couple of soft touches to get back in the swing of things. Our guy Tyson Fury wants to fight this year. I tried to see if we can get Usyk this year. Apparently, they don't want to do it until February. We're going to try to get an opponent for Tyson Fury, Joshua or somebody else to make sure he gets in the ring this year. This is Eddie Hearn's reaction. On Hearn, Arum added, Eddie Hearn is just talking. Eddie Hearn, if he wanted to make the fight, knows me well enough and knows I'm over here. He knows the Warrens. We haven't really heard from Hearn. He's really good at making statements to the press and television, but he's not, I don't think, anxious to make this fight. Fury had previously berated Joshua on social media videos. One stated, "This is it now, AJ. Don't get scared now. Agree to the fight, and let's give the fans what they want." I'm not going to get into Usyk's response, but there's another article that I'll get into. But first, we want to show you the taunting that they brought up with Tyson Fury. And for those of you listening on our podcast, underrated podcast that's getting like over 500 downloads every episode, thank you. We appreciate you. You can listen to our podcast if you don't have time to watch the YouTube videos. And my man, Conspiracy G, does a great job of editing. We go over the time all the time. We apologize for that, G, but we appreciate all the work you do on that podcast. So check out our podcast if you can't check out the YouTube video. And so for those of you on the podcast, we're going to play some snippets of Tyson Fury trolling Anthony Joshua.
AJ, I've not heard from you at all. You've never gotten your thing and said you want this fight or you don't. I'm going to do a video, 1 hour, for the full fucking day until you agree or don't agree. Let us know. And just to clarify, there has never been a December 17th date, ever. There's only ever been November the 26th at Wembley or December 3rd at Cardiff. There never has been a date on the 17th. This is it now, AJ, Eddie. Don't get scared now. Agree to the fight and let's give the fans what they want. I'll give you an unbelievable deal and an unbelievable opportunity. So let's go. Go time. Showtime. And AJ, if you really wanted this fight, you'd say you wanted it and you'd just do it. November 26th, December 3rd. Let's give the fans what they want. No way out. Take the fight. And also, while I'm thinking of it, this is the Tyson Fury party. You're just an invited guest to my party. You can't dictate what you want and what you don't want. You either take my offer or you leave my offer. AJ, where are you, mush? Time is ticking. Tick, 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 tock, 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 tock. Let's agree this fight and give the fans what they want. Dosser, let's get it done, you big dosser. You big ugly dosser. Boom. AJ, agree to the fight and I'll give you some of this Gypsy King money. Woo! It tastes good, baby. Come and get some. Come and get it. AJ, I'll make it nice and quick for you. I'll do it inside 6 rounds so you can get out of there and get in one piece and go home and have a nice little night out on Sunday. Nice and quick. In and out. Get paid and out you go. We've been driving round searching for AJ. Can't find him anywhere, but can we?
We're in the Welsh Hills. Can't find him.
Can't find him. Nowhere to be found. Where are you, mate? Come out and fight us. I'm just here with Donald Trump. What do you think, Donald, about this fight with AJ?
Well, it's got to happen. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on you, AJ. You got to sign the contract. 60-40, it's very fair. It's extremely fair. Sign the contract. It's not that hard.
Mike, what do you think AJ should do in this fight?
Well, simple. Sign the contract. I mean, it's going to be the British mega fight, the Battle of Britain. Come on, AJ. I'm a heavyweight legend, and I want to sign this contract if I was in my prime, you know, so just do it.
Joe, what do you think he should do?
What the fuck are you waiting for? What I think you should do? I think you should sign the fucking contract. Come on. We want to see this fight. Everybody wants to see this fight. Come on. It's what the fucking people want. You keep saying it. Everybody says it. Sign the fucking contract, Anthony. Come on.
Rob, what do you think he should do?
Well, like everybody's saying, he's got to sign the contract. Come on, what's the matter with you? I'm talking to you. AJ, I'm talking to you. The contract. Get a little pen, sign it. It's that simple. What's so hard about it? What's the matter with you? Come on.
Mark, what do you think he should do then?
What do you mean what I think you should do? Sign the goddamn contract. What's the matter with you, Anthony? You got to do it. This is a really big fight. We're looking forward to it, all right? The whole world, not just Britain, the whole world.
You're going to be there, Mark, aren't you?
I'm going to be there, definitely, all right?
Hey, Al, what do you think of this fight?
I think they got to just sign it. Eddie, what are you waiting for? Anthony, what are you waiting for? It's a hell of an opportunity. Sign it. Hoo-ha! We're going to get the biggest. Give me a hoo-ha. Hoo-ha. Hoo-ha.
Hey, Dad, what do you think of this fight?
Tell you what, son, what he has to do is sign that contract. What are you waiting for? Come on. The biggest fight in British history, and you got to sign it, son. Come on, AJ. Eddie, come on, sign it.
We believe in you, AJ. So, real Dad, what do you think he should do here?
It's a no-brainer, and it's 60-40. He's never going to get that chance ever again. But Eddie Hearn, being a little pussy he is, will have a bit to say. All negativity toward getting this fight on, but it's up to me. He's never going to get it.
Tick, 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 tick. Tuck, 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 tuck. Time is running out. How are you, Dosser? Instead, offering you.
That's Tyson Fury's troll game. We can talk about that a little bit later, but there's one more article that we're going to get into, a more recent article, where it's basically saying that Tyson Fury is going to face Charr, WBC title block as AJ deadline passes, and so we'll get into this real quick. A potential fight between Tyson Fury and Charr would be a non-title affair due to the lack of a WBC ranking for the challenger. World Boxing News checked the latest WBC ratings list to see if Charr, formerly Manuel, was eligible for a shot at Fury's strap. Sadly, for the German-based Charr, this is not the case. Charr is nowhere on the top 40 list. This scenario means the former WBA regular champion must ask for special permission for a title chance. Tyson Fury versus Charr. Fury put the feelers out on a fight with Charr via a social media exchange. The post came just hours before an offer to face British rival Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury, take the fight. I'm ready to knock you out. Take my challenge. I'm ready for you, man. No excuses, said Charr. The 34-year-old champion responded, Demon boy, I've got a certain little middleweight that I've got to put that fist through first. However, if he doesn't want no smoke, you can surely get it. Pressure will break diamonds. Many skeptics believe Charr is the initial target for a Fury defense later this year, with the Joshua offer a smokescreen. The Gypsy King reportedly turned down a date of December 17th offered by AJ. His promoter, Frank Warren, is only considering November 26th and December 3rd for any potential battle. After announcing a deadline of September 8th for an agreement, Fury versus Joshua subsequently collapsed. However, Fury's U.S. promoter Bob Arum stated Eddie Hearn had not bothered to respond to the offer despite several media interviews outlining the contrary. If Fury and Warren can work out a deal with the WBC, Fury could face Charr or one of the current top 15 below for a voluntary defense of his green and gold belt. Wembley Stadium or the Principality Stadium in Wales will host Fury's next bout. If he wins, Fury will trade blows with Alexander Usyk for the undisputed crown in February. So here are the top 15. And then see Deontay Wilder, Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker, Frank Sanchez, Andy Ruiz, my man, I don't know, my man from Canada.
Yeah.
NABF champion over there. Dillian White, Luis Ortiz, Robert Helenius, Otto Wallin, what's this? Mark Bacoli, Zon.
Man, listen.
Kasbuski from Kazakhstan.
I'm just gonna say it like this. This looked like G made this list. Just for one
Let's hold the Rick and Derek Ward Chisora.
The only reason why I say this, you know what I'm saying, is because they don't got my man Usyk on there, and he put Joyce over JP. I knew you had something to do with that, G. You know?
Well, Fury can't get either of them because they're fighting each other. So those are two guys we can scratch off that list. All right. So now that everything's been laid out, I'm gonna turn it over to Conspira G. What's your reaction to all that?
Yo, this one's all right. I see both sides of this situation because I do believe what's best for AJ is to take some time off, you know, fight some tune-ups, you know, like get his confidence back. So I think coming off of 2 back-to-back losses and then going up against Fury, although it's a sweet deal, once-in-a-lifetime deal, that could backfire on AJ, you know. So I could respect AJ not accepting the terms. On Fury's side, however, I agree with Fury's frustration about this. It's like, you know, Fury technically is the A side in this one. Fury's still undefeated. Fury's still a champion. AJ, you just lost to Usyk for the second time. You know, this is a great opportunity to have it in the UK, be humongous. You know, like everybody will want to see that over there. And AJ's essentially complaining about the date. You know, he wants the date pushed back, I think, a week. But, you know, Fury, and I remember hearing Fury's explanation is the cutoff date is because he wants to fight Usyk at the beginning of next year. So he needs those weeks for that fight. So he can't have it on AJ's date. So he's like, these are the 2 dates. Then AJ's also complaining about the rematch clause. Like, well, hey, for the rematch, if I win the first one, I get 60-40. I'm not necessarily against that. However, you know, Tyson Fury is probably like, yo, man, just sign this damn contract. You know, let's just get this over with, you know. So to me, it's kind of like, I feel like AJ's doing whatever he can to not have this fight, you know. And Eddie, I actually agree with Bob Arum.
Eddie's quick to go to the media on social media and talk about the negotiations. But on Fury's side, they're like, bro, we're waiting for the paperwork, dog. Sign something, you know? So that just tells me everything's smoke and mirrors. But then this is when my conspiracy bag has to, like, you know, have to activate. You know what I'm saying? I have to think about this. I do kind of believe Fury probably knew all along AJ wasn't going to accept this fight. And so what they're doing is they're using AJ to really just promote Fury coming to the UK for the fight. So they had Charr all along, and they knew nobody was going to get excited about no Charr. So Fury needed something to promote. So let's just promote this AJ mythical fight just to spend time on something and then be like, oh, AJ's a coward. He's a chicken. You know what? I have to fight Charr. And then after he beats Charr, then, you know, during the fight, he's going to call out AJ and all that. So it's WWE, bro. So, like, I could see it from all different angles. And so I'm not going to blame AJ or Fury per se, but I think Fury's team are utilizing this situation to promote the Fury versus Charr.
All right, Dog Bill.
I said Fury versus AJ is off. It never was on. It never was on. You know why? I said it. I said I believe it when I see it. It's fake. He just had a fight. You want to fight 3 months after just having a crazy fight with Usyk. That's what you expected to hop on him while he was already down. You wanted to take advantage of the lamb, the injured lamb, you know? That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to take advantage of it. And these people was like, nah, they're not having it. He needs the proper time to get back. Gee, even you said it. He needs some tuna, you know, before he get in there with the likes of the Tyson Fury. But they wanted to jump that on there. You know what I'm saying? That was like a mind game thing. That's why I said that the fight, I believe it when I see it. I don't think it's going to happen. And then especially saying, oh, I want the November date because then I'm going to fight Usyk in February. That, if you look at the time's not going to happen. And if he's going to fight Usyk, it's not going to happen in February if he's thinking about a fight date happening in November, December, November. He wants November 26th, right? Mm-hmm. November. Yeah, if anything, it'll be pushed to like a March, April, you know, because he's going to need time to get in ready for Usyk. I don't know. I just think it's Tyson Fury talking to be talking and to have people talking. And he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's keeping his name out there. But I'm going to say this about Tyson Fury. You're a wizard in the ring, but outside the ring, I don't really pay attention to much you say because it's so, you know, there's like Caden said this before. A lot of it is just smoke and mirrors, but he will throw you some little truth, you know? And sometimes I just don't got time to dissect it with him, you know? So I stick with this phrase. I believe it when I see it, when it happens, when it comes to Tyson Fury and what he said.
All right. TBE.
First,
I want to vibe. I don't know about that vibe TBE setting right now, but
oh my bad, it's getting a little dark here.
We doing something? We summering something?
You about to pull out the baby oil or something? I don't know what's going on.
Nah. What is it? First, I want to say shout out to that comedian who was doing the impersonations. They were spot on.
Yeah.
And
especially the Robert De Niro.
Yeah, the Robert De Niro and the Mike Tyson. I thought the Mike Tyson was perfect, yo. What is it?
I don't know. He didn't do a better job.
Yeah, this is classic Tyson Fury. I know Eddie and AJ aren't the type to do negotiations through social media, and all of this was just him. Like, you can't, you know, AJ just had a fight. Nearly almost a month ago. And you're just trying to pressure a man to sign a contract within a week. And that's not how you handle proper business. And I feel like you guys said, Fury had no plans of fighting AJ come December. And we all know AJ wouldn't be ready by December. So for this was all just a charade, all games, just to use AJ's name to build this fight that he was having in the UK. But all of it, for me, it was nonsense. When he called out, I like Troy said, I do feel like the December 17th date wasn't like something they couldn't work on. It's just something they clearly didn't want to fight AJ, because if they was to fight December 17th, they would just fight early March, mid-March, and that's not a big deal for Usyk or Fury, because it's still negotiating. But for this, yeah, it was just all this to build up the fight. These are some of the antics I don't like for Fury, but it was still funny. Like he used it to his advantage, but you can't just sit here and get on social media like, yeah, sign the contract, and that's not how it works.
I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. I'm okay with it all. I feel like it's all fair game. I don't feel like Fury crossed any lines. If you know Fury and you know like his history and his upbringing, you know that he comes from, a lineage of bare knuckle boxers, gypsy bare knuckle boxers. And if you know anything about the bare knuckle boxing and in the gypsy culture, you know how they do it. They make videos calling each other out, calling each other's family out. That's just what they do. So he came by it honestly, So whenever I see him making a video about Usyk, like, oh, the puffed up middleweight, I'm going to get you, Dasa, and whatever, he's just doing what he's seen his like whole life, and you watch like these videos, they're like funny, like when they call each other's family out, and then they'll like the dad will call the dad out, step away from the video, and then the son will come in and say, I'm calling your oldest son out, and we're going to get it on, and then they'll step out, then the other son will come in. It's like the whole family calling each other out, and they got like a whole little card of bare knuckle fights and one family fighting another family, and that's just is what it is. So when I watch it, it's just more, entertaining. That's what he's doing. He's just calling out his rivals. So I don't see anything wrong with that. On the flip side, I don't see anything wrong with what AJ's doing. AJ saying, look, let me get December 17th. If he was really going to fight December 17th, kudos to AJ, because, he was just in a tough fight. He just took a tough loss. But this is the type of guy you're talking about, a guy who lost his biggest fight in Madison Square Garden, wasn't on his home turf, to a fighter who I think people have to give respect to. Andy Ruiz just beat Luis Ortiz, and the old man put on a good performance. Luis Ortiz is legit. You got to give it to him. He just beat Luis Ortiz, so you got to give Anthony Josh for that, right? Excuse me. So what you have to do is you really have to respect what AJ did going into the immediate rematch, getting his belts back. Lost to Usyk. People can say whatever they want to say about Usyk. Usyk is undefeated, Olympic gold medalist, undisputed at cruiserweight, unified at heavyweight. Okay, and Fury dropped the Ring Magazine belt, and Usyk picked that up too. Just hey, and you know what? You can't blame Usyk because Fury let it go. The point is, AJ hasn't lost to any bumps. AJ lost to really great fighters. Andy Ruiz could have been undefeated and could have been a champion. His fight with Joseph Parker was in Joseph Parker's home turf, and a lot of people who watched that fight thought Andy Ruiz won, which was his only L at the time. So, excuse me, I want to show you all something real quick. And what I want to show you is Vladimir Klitschko. I hear a lot of people saying he's great. He reigned, he ruled. Nobody says anything bad about Dr. Stillhammer, except Dr. Stillhammer had worse losses than Anthony Joshua. Excuse me. Let me show you Dr. Stillhammer real quick. Dr. Stillhammer lost to Ross Purity. Right? Huh?
Now I was starting to name all the people like Sanders. You got a lot of
yeah. This was 11th round TKO. This is the man he lost to. 13 L's at the time. Let's see the total amount of L's he ended up with. 20. This dude beat Vladimir Klitschko. I don't hear y'all clowning Vladimir though.
He can tell his kids.
Yeah. Took him out. Took out the first one. Took him out. Right?
Ask about me.
Now look, he beats Chris Bird. That's a good victory on his belt. Chris Bird solid. Francois Botha, the White Buffalo, was a hell of a fighter. Merciless Mercer towards the end, but Merciless Mercer is still a good fighter.
Both of them were done.
I know, but Corey Sanders.
His brother had to revenge that.
Corey Sanders TKOs him in the second round.
His brother had to revenge that.
TKOs him in the second round. Now listen, Klitschko ends up getting with Emmanuel Stewart and learning a style that's advantageous for his stature, his gifts. Well, not after that fight. After Layman Brewster. Layman Brewster TKOs Klitschko in the fifth round.
Did his brother get back for that too? Because I know his brother always comes to his
I know. Vitaly always wants to get some get back. But here's the thing. Once he got with Emmanuel Stewart and he got the right style, he went on to reign and win. Big win. Samuel Peterson, that was my man.
For
the
10
Nigerian Nightmare. Huh?
10 years straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Brooke when Brooke fell right on his face.
Layman Brewster. What happened? Made him retire in the sixth round. Right? Hakeem Rahman.
That was the end of his road.
Now what you're seeing, once he got the right trainer, he got the right style, is you're seeing he dominated.
David Hay.
Damn. David Hay showed his toe at the end of that fight. Maurice Vac.
This is bringing back a lot of memories, man.
Look at this. Alexander Povetkin is solid. Oh, they go to G's favorite, the bus driver. Alex Pie. Ulev. Janice, look at this. Look at the win streak this man went on until he fought the Gypsy King Tyson Fury. Another thing I want to point out, because people bring up that Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, they say it like it was a smoker.
Nah, I wasn't. It was a sleeper.
115, 112, 115, 112, 116, 111. That's not a blowout. And Fury had 1 point deducted in the 11th round for shots behind the head.
He should have got it for holding.
A lot of holding in that fight as well.
Now you can't take a point off for holding when Klitschko's whole career was holding.
Yeah, true that though.
Let's keep it real. You know?
So
that was a sumo wrestling match.
So all I'm saying to you is the great Vladimir Klitschko, who I hear a lot of you prop up, y'all were propping him up as great, has worse losses than Anthony Joshua. Like lost to worse caliber fighters. Like he lost to a dude with 20 L's. 13 at the time he beat him. Layman Brewster is no Alexander Usyk. Layman Brewster isn't no Andy Ruiz. Corey Sanders is not Alexander Usyk.
And to add, if I can, and this is no disrespect to Klitschko at all, but let's just keep it real. This current batch of heavyweight fighters are way more competitive than his era. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, like
you're not saying anything wrong because he fought two of them and lost the two of them.
Yeah.
People are going to say, oh, but he was old. But those dudes are different animals, man. And they didn't exist in his time. And to say he was old, you know, he was still dominating. So you can try to say he was old, but he was still dominating. And he was still beating guys. And it was those two guys that made him retire. Just like it was his brother that made Lennox Lewis retire. Lennox got the dub and said, new crop coming in. I'm out of here. For real. That's what happens in boxing. So I'm not mad at AJ. AJ wants to take time to recover. He deserves to. Y'all want to sit there and clown him because he took 2 L's. Some of the greatest took L's. I'm not sitting here saying AJ's career is over. I think he needs to find himself. He needs to find his Emmanuel Stewart. He needs to find his style. He needs to find his style, stick with it, and have confidence in it. Either you're going to be a punisher or you're going to try to be a slick little boxer or whatever, but whatever you do, you need to master that. It's like AJ's trying to learn so many things. He's a man of many talents, but a master of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his problem right now. But I'm not going to sit there and get at AJ. You know why? Because if Fury wants to fight Manuel Charr, go ahead, cook him. We all know he cheated to beat Chris Lovejoy anyway. So go ahead, cook Manuel Charr.
Right.
Cook Manuel Charr.
I knew that's where he was going.
cook Manuel Charr, and then fight Alexander Usyk, if that's what you plan to do. Have your rematch or whatever the case may be. By that time, if Joshua does what he's supposed to do, he's going to be the biggest money fight for either one of you anyway. So you're going to have to come see him. Right? If Wilder and Joshua play their cards right, people are going to have to come see them anyway. They just need to keep putting themselves in position. And so if it doesn't happen right now, it's cool. I'm not mad at either guy. We'll see it when the time's right.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing.